Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, and I hope it's been a good week for you. It's almost the end of August now. Summer is slipping through our fingers. Can you believe it? Got a long weekend coming up ahead, and I hope you have some fun plans going on for that. Wanted to share with you just something I was reading today. I'm making my way through the book of Daniel, and I made it to Daniel 7. And Daniel 7 is where things get very interesting in the book. Prior to that, the stories have been about how God's been working miraculously through the lives of his believers and even through the pagan kings in Babylon and Persia. But now we get to Daniel 7, and it's kind of an echo of Daniel 2, where we had the statue dream. In Daniel 7, we have this dream that Daniel has now of 4 beasts coming up that look odd and different. The fourth one so much, Daniel can't even describe what it looks like as far as the animal kingdom goes. He says it's got horns, and then a little horn pops up, and 3 pop out when it comes up. Strange things. But then when we get to Daniel 9, we see this heavenly vision of the Ancient of Days, of God there being ministered by all the angels. It's just a magnificent scene. In Daniel 11, the beast is destroyed, which is good news. And then in verse 13 and 14, this is something that we almost don't focus on as much. We're so focused on identifying beasts that we forget the most important part is 13 and 14 when it says, "One like a son of man comes before the Ancient of Days, and a dominion is given to him, glory and kingdom, and his kingdom won't pass away." And here's where it's so fascinating why Jesus uses the term son of man when he comes along in the gospel story. He's thinking back to Daniel. And this son of man, this human, who's somehow a heavenly human who's brought before God and dealing with the beast power. And it's just fascinating. And it says that the Son of Man will receive a kingdom that is not destroyed, unlike the beast powers, which are all destroyed. But what's fascinating is when you get to after that vision, Daniel's like, I was perplexed. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know more about the beast. So I asked this angel who was standing by to tell me more about the beast. And so he does. He says, these are kingdoms, and they're going to come, rise and fall. But the angel says, but the saints, verse 22, the saints are going to possess the kingdom. Judgment, which is always good news in the Bible, is the saints are going to win, which is great. And then Daniel says, yeah, but tell me more about the fourth beast. Tell me more about that. It's almost like we as humans, we pass over the good news God is trying to tell us, and we say, tell me more about the bad news. And we find that a lot in our life. If you just go online, you can find plenty of bad news. You turn on the TV, plenty of bad news. And I think what God is telling us is he doesn't gloss over the bad news. He says, yeah, there's some things here. There's some beasts. There's some powers that are going to rise up and do their thing. But the good news is God wins. The good news is the Son of Man, Jesus, wins, and he'll have a kingdom that will go to the saints, to his people. That's what God wants us to focus on, even though he does tell us about bad things that happen. So I just want you to think today or this week, what are you focused on? Are you focused on the bad things happening, all the troubles in the world? Or are you remembering God's promises that we find all throughout the Word, and especially here in Daniel, that says, no, God's going to win. Judgment's going to happen, and judgment is good news because it means the saints will inherit the kingdom, and they'll reign with Jesus. That is wonderful news. We're just getting started here in Daniel. There's some other interesting chapters coming up, so I hope you'll join me next coming Wednesday as I talk about this. And I hope you'll join us this coming Saturday. We have a great service here at Piedmont Park, live and online. Bible study at 9:30. Worship time starts at 11 for us. And we're going to be starting a new sermon series as we think about practical Christianity and what it means to have a close relationship with God. That's what our next sermon series is. Hope you'll join us. We also have a baptism this week, so much exciting things going on. Friends, have a great rest of your week. Take care, everyone, and let's take care of everyone.